Hey guys, we're back. Coach's Show week 6. We just finished up with Mountainburg, and we're going to be rolling into Hector week. So we're going to start off with Jonathan and talk about last week.
Tough week on the road last week, going into Mountainburg, a rainy, damp night. From a fan's perspective, watching the game, it just had a weird feeling to it all night. And then, after your first early tries, it felt like if you could ever get anything going, that it was going to be a big night. But unfortunately, not able to get anything going.
Yeah, just come out flat, and that was apparent. They would come out 3 and out. They drive right down the field to score, and we get the ball. I think we get 1 first down, but then go backwards on our next few plays, and then they go down and score, and we just never could get it turned around. And it's not like you think 37-0 victory. We got a lot of turnovers. We didn't turn the ball over. We just couldn't move it all night long, and just struggled up front a little bit. They were a little bit bigger than us, but we just played flat in that show.
You mentioned that, and it's like when you were able to get some things going, the one flag here or the one little thing there, and it's tough when you're on the road sometimes to get that consistency going. But I thought at times you were able to move the football against them and do some good things. Yeah,
and we'd come out and Ashton had hit a big run or get 4 or 5 yards on first down, and then it seemed like we'd just put ourselves in a bind, getting a 2-yard loss or a 3-yard loss or a penalty, and putting us behind the sticks again. And we do not operate well behind the sticks. And in a double wing offense, you can't play behind the sticks. And that's what the other team wants you to do, is get you 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10, and that's what they did to us all night, and that showed.
A positive to come out of that, it's a learning experience. And you mentioned that this week you had one of your better weeks going into this homestand. The good thing is you're back at home, and that helps a lot, I think.
Oh yeah, senior night should help us, get jacked a little bit. Like you said, had a great practice this week, 2 good practices. So hopefully it translates to Friday night.
Yeah, so before we jump into Hector, I just want to give you a chance to talk about a Mountainburg junior high game. So we were home. Mountainburg comes in. We pick up a win there, 24-0 in a conference game. We'll talk about that game a little bit.
Played really, really well. Our this junior high team is really, really good at stopping the run. And Mountainburg only ended up with 88 yards total offense. I think we only had 178 or 200, but we scored every possession we had the football. The game ended early in the 4th quarter because of lightning, and dominated from the first whistle.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was actually there for that game. So this week, first time in about 3 years, we got Hector coming in. Excited to get them back at home.
Yeah, very. It's a long drive down there to Hector.
It's a long drive. It's a great environment down there. I talk to some folks down there every year about that. Hopefully we can give them a good environment here this year. Before I ask you a couple questions, I just wanted to talk about the series. The big thing that popped out at me when I was looking at it was we started the series 0-7 and played a couple of really close games against Hector, but I think they were in kind of the prime of their runs in the late 90s into the early 2000s. And Coach, you were a part of the first win against Hector. I was going to point that out, 2008. You remember that game?
Yeah, barely.
Where was it?
It was at home, my freshman year. I think somebody dropped out for our schedule. I think it might have been Hartford or Western Yale. Somebody didn't have a team that year, so we just brought in Hector at the end of the season. And so the freshmen had already moved up to the senior high team, and I was a freshman that year.
Good stuff. So we have turned things around since then. Currently, the series sits at 5-10, and we've won the last 3. I think the most impressive thing about that is we've won the last 2 at their place because of adding some teams and changing the conference up. We end up going there back to back. So I know I've seen Hector a little bit. I know they look a little bit different, sort of like we do. They bring in a lot of kids, a lot of new faces. But what do we expect from them on the offensive side?
So last year they kind of went to a double wing set, kind of looked like us a little bit. But this year they're back to the spread game with an H-back and stuff like that, throwing a lot of screens. Quarterback can throw it around a little bit, and got a pretty good running back back there that can make some plays.
I know a lot less about the defense, Coach. Where are they going to line up at base-wise?
They will look almost exactly like us. We 3-4 defense, so I have a nose guard, 2 D tackles, and 2 stand-up D ends with 2 linebackers and 4 over the top.
Gotcha. So like I said last week, it feels like each week, hey, it's important this week. We really need to pick up a win. We really want to play good. We really want to start moving in the right direction, and we're doing that. But do you expect us to keep going that direction this week?
Right. We have to take us another step forward. Last week I felt like we took a step backwards, so we're going to have to pick it up, and we can't have that week again.
Yeah.
It's getting down to the end of the season, so we're running out of games to pick up those conference wins, so it's got to start this week.
Right. So really important game. If you guys can come out this week and help us out with the environment, get loud, support these guys, this is definitely the week to do it. It's a conference game, and we want to bounce back. So
It's a big week in the conference as a whole, because right now it's 2-0 or 0-2. So after this week, you're going to see possibly, if you talk about playoff spots, this is the week to try to factor into some of those spots, because you've got Hector, Mountainburg, Quitman, and Bigelow at 2-0, and the rest of the league at 0-2. There's going to be some movement this week, I think, in some games that are going to factor into later on in the season.
Yep. All right, so that's all I got. Coach, you got any announcements? Anything you need to say?
Friday is senior night, so come out and we'll celebrate our seniors at 6:30. So if you show up at 7, you'll miss senior night. So I'd like everybody to be out there at 6:30, celebrate our seniors. I think we got 7 of them this year, so kind of a big class for us. So come out and support those guys.
All right, guys.
Big opportunity, one of 2 final home games, is that right?
Yep.
So it's a big opportunity for fans to come out and see you at home.
Right.
It'll be this week, and then homecoming
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
So you guys take advantage. I hope to see you out there. Thanks for tuning in.